So hello everyone. Today we'll be looking at how to analyze a braze cut excavation in stratified soil using Plexus 2D. So let me get it right. So we'll see how to analyze it. And before going to Plexus, what we'll see here is that how the problem is defined. So I have a problem like this. So this is like a you can see this is an excavation which is supported by these diaphragm walls, and you can see these red lines. These are struts at different levels. So four struts basically we have provided, and you can see these are the stages of excavation: first stage, second stage, third and fourth and fifth. And we have divided the soil layer in four parts: one stratum, second stratum, third and fourth stratum. So we'll see in detail what are the properties of all the stratums. But before that, what is the size of geometry? Geometry is excavation width is 10 meter, and extra width we have provided 20 meters. So you can take more than 20, maybe three times the width of the excavation. So 30 meter will be fine, I think. But it is mainly a trial and error process. And the depth of the excavation you can see is 25 meters. So how we are going to approach the problem is that these are the properties, so we'll see later. And so in the first stage we'll be constructing the diaphragm wall, and we'll be making the geometry as usual, and then it will be followed by the excavation of first stage and carrying on to fifth stage of excavation. So after that we'll see how to solve it. So let's uh, go to Plexus and see how to solve it. So I'll start the Plexus here. So how you can start the problem is that you have to define a new project here. So I've created a new project and click OK. So you can give your name, maybe braced cut something. Okay, so and then you have to see that what are the model properties. The model, it's plane strain model. You can solve it by axisymmetry also. That will be easier, I think. And I've solved it for 15 nodes. You can take 6 nodes also, and acceleration is defined here by default. And dimensions, you can see that what are the dimension here. So if we go back to our original figure, so dimensions are like in the horizontal direction we have around 50 meter of the width, and in the vertical direction we have 25 meter of depth. So we'll define the dimension as left side is 0, right side 50 is fine. Bottom we can define minus 25, and top we will define 0. So it's up to you. You can define bottom as 0 and top as 20 plus 25, so that both are fine. Okay, then everything else is fine. Spacing, number of intervals, and then just go ahead and create it. So you see this geometry is created. This area is created where you can draw your geometry. Okay, so let's see how we can draw the geometry. So if you see the geometry, this the depth of the layers are 0 meter, 5, 10, 12, 16 and 25, and width is 50 meters. So first we'll make this rectangle. Okay, so drawing geometry is very simple. You just have to take this line, this geometry line, and go, and you can type the coordinates here. You don't have to click, you just type in the coordinates like 0 0. I've typed first, you can see it here. So it will automatically connect to 0 0. Then the second point will be 50 0. Then the third one will be, I am considering the top portion as 0 0. So below the top it will be in the minus 25 or something. So next will be 50 minus 25, and it will be 0 minus 25, then again 0 0. And you see this one geometry is created. If you want to check, you can click here by taking the cursor, and now we'll stratify it. So what are the stratification? What is the stratification? So depth is 5 meter, 12 meter, 16 meter, and then 25. So let's go for 5 meter first. So it will be 0 minus 5, and then 50 minus 5, and again you can go 5, and I totally forgot, it was 5, 12, 16. Okay, so next line will be 12, 0 minus 12, and 50 minus 12, then 16, 0 minus 16 and 50 minus 16. So now 4 stratas are created, 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, so this basic geometry is fine. Okay, so now we'll construct this diaphragm wall. You can see here. Then we'll go for struts, and we'll also go for these stages of excavation. Also, we'll have to draw the geometry line here. So first draw the diaphragm wall. So it is at a depth of 17 meter, and it is located at 20 and then 30, 20 comma 0 and 30 comma 0. So let's go to plexus, and for diaphragm wall what you have to take it is you have to take this plate element. So first coordinate will be 20 comma 0, and here it is there, and the second one will be it goes up to depth of 17 meter. Okay, so it goes up to 17 meter. Okay, so I'll construct it again. Okay, so let's create a plate element at 20 0, and it will go up to 17 meters. So 20 minus 17, then let's go back and draw it at 30 0 and 30 minus 17, and here we go. We have created two diaphragm walls. Now what you like to create, I like to create the level of excavation first. So let's see what are the levels of excavation. So level of excavation is first one is at 4 meter, then 7.5 meter, then 9.8 meter, and so on. So first one is at 4 meter. So I'll again take this geometry line. I'll go for 20 minus 4, and here it will be 30 minus 4, and the second one was 7.5 meter, I guess. So 7.5 meter, then then it will be 9.8 meter, stage 3. So the second one will be 7.5 meters, so it will be 20 minus 7.5 and 30 minus 7.5. Then the third one, so I'll create all the layer all the excavation stages here. Okay, so this is first stage, second stage, third and fourth one is at this level only. It is 12 meters, so and it is the fourth and fifth. So now we'll create the struts. So so struts are like anchoring elements. So we have struts at 3.2 meter, then second one is 7.1 meter. So 3.2 meter, the first one is 3.2 meter. So this is the anchoring element, node to node anchor. So I'll take it and I'll type the coordinate. So it is 3.1 meter, 3.1, and then you go to the second point, that is 30 minus 3.1, and here you have created this anchoring element. So the second one is at 7.1 meter. Okay, let's create this one also. So 20 minus 7.1, and then 30 and minus 7.1. Here we go, the second strut is created. Subsequently we'll go for other struts like 9.5 meter and 11.5 meter. So I think this strut I've created wrong, it is at 3.2 meters, so I'll change it quickly. Okay, so how we can change it, that you take this cursor and select the element which you want to delete, and then just click delete on your keyboard. And okay, so you can also delete these nodes by selecting, and then you have to create again these anchors. So what you'll have to keep in mind, that after you start your project, you subsequently click on the save button, otherwise sometime Plexus stops and your project will go in vain. And so we have created two struts till now, and other struts also will create. So what are the depth of other struts? This one is 3.2 we have created, 7.1 we have created, now 9.5, and this one is 11.5. Okay, so we'll create two more, and it is 29.5, then 39.5, then next 11.5. That's 20 minus 11.5, and 30 minus 11.5. That's okay, so 30 minus 11.5. We have created four struts, you can see. Okay, so one thing I think I have done wrong, that I've created these as a plate element. So I have to create the struts as a anchoring element. So just I'll change it to the anchor elements. So for that I have to undo first, and then I'll create these anchoring elements. Okay, so I've undone all the plate element. Now I'll create it by anchoring element. So okay, so first one we have created, and the second one is at 7.1 meter. So 20 minus 7.1 and 30, 7.1. Second one is created. Third one 20, 9.5 and 11.5. 5 and 39.5, and then 20, 11.5, and then we'll go for 30, 11.5. So okay, it's done. We have created 4 struts. So now all our geometry is done. We'll click on save once again. Okay, so what's the next step? Next step will be to assign the material for all these layer of soil, then for this diaphragm walls, then for these struts. So 3 types of material we have to define. So how we define the material in Plex is that this is the link for defining material. So we click on the material, and first let us define the material here. First will be, okay, so we're gonna create the soil element for the interface and the interface element. So to create a soil element, you click on this new tab here, and you go on for general set, and first you define the name of the material. So I'll write it as stratum 1, and then the model you want to in which you want to design this means model the soil. So you can model as Mohr Kula model or soft soil model. Sometimes people follow this hardening soil model and small strain model all. So I'll do it in Mohr Kula model. So metal type will be drained, and to know the unit weight and other parameters, C, phi, gamma, E. So let's see what are the other parameters. So if we go to the next slide, then we'll see that these are the properties of the soil. So Poisson's ratio for all the stratums are 0.3. Okay, so and this angle of internal friction is given 26. Okay, so for the first stratum we'll consider it first. So for the first stratum, Poisson's ratio is 0.3, and degree of internal friction 26, G is 2700. So for the first stratum, Poisson's this unit weight is 18.50. So for the first system, unit weight is 18.50, and gamma saturation, if it is given, then, and otherwise you can take plus 10, maybe 9.8. So I'll just take 28.5, and then we'll go to parameters. E, so here G is given as 2700, I guess. Okay, so G is given at 2700 and 526.3, and Poisson's ratio is 0.3, and value of C, phi is given 26 degree, and this value of cohesion is 5. So value of cohesion is given as 5. So if value of cohesion is 0, so what you have to do is you have to write it as 0.01, because you cannot write 0 in Plex, otherwise it will give a error while you'll go for the analysis. So I think I've written all the parameters. So now we'll go to interface also. So what interface is? Interface is if there's any element like this diaphragm wall, so how this will interact with this diaphragm, how soil will interact with diaphragm wall, that depends on this interfacial values. This interfacial value is by default 1. So it means that there is no effect, there is no decrease or increase in the friction or friction force or anything when it will transfer from soil to diaphragm wall. Okay, so I'll take it as 1, and in the manual they I think specify it as 0.67. So you can take also, it means that it will decrease the friction resistance by say to 67% only. So other things I've defined, I'll click OK. So first soil is created, soil layer is created. You can change the color from here. Okay, so I'll take this color, and then you go and create a new layer. So I'll just go and I'll copy this layer. Okay, so I'll just go and copy this layer, and it will create a new layer. So the name of the new will be stratum 2 molecular model trained. What are the unit weight for the second step 18 and 1700 26.35. Okay, so unit weight is 18, so it will be 28.0, and parameter G is 2700 I think, and 0.3 26 5. Okay, second stratum is created. Let me change the color for this one. Okay, so two stratums are created, and so G value is 1700, so I'll have to modify it. I'll go for the stratum 2 and I'll click on edit. I'll go to parameters and G value is 1700. Okay, so stratum 2 is created. Then I'll go here and copy again. Is stratum 3 molecular model drained. What is the unit weight? Unit weight is 19 4150. G value, so unit weight is 19, so this will be 29, and G value is 4150, and Poisson's ratio 0.3. Okay, what is the value of phi here? 19 41 50. Phi is 30 degree, and mu is 0.3. C value is 20. Okay, so phi is 30 degree, C value is not 5, it is 20, and other things will be remain as it is. So third stratum is also created. Now I'll copy it again, and I'll create a stratum 4 quickly. So molecular model, Poisson's ratio, let's see, 19.5 5350. Okay, so all four stratums are created. Now what next we have to create? So first let me assign these stratums. So this is the stratum 1, so I'll take you can also assign, like you can take it from here and assign it, and you can also assign like this. You go here and you click on this one, then press shift, and second one, this area I'll assign stratum 1. You select stratum 1 and apply. Then here I'll select this area. You have to click shift so that you can select multiple areas, and then go to stratum 2 and apply stratum 3 and stratum 4. So you can see all the, I'll change the color of this one so that it will be more clear. Let's change it to greenish. Okay, okay, so okay, so all four layers are assigned. So what we have to do next is we have to give the properties to the diaphragm wall, and then we'll have to give the properties to the struts. So what are the properties for the diaphragm wall? Is a diaphragm wall metal is cement concrete, behavior linear elastic. So thick, what we have to let's go to plexus and show you what properties we need. So from here the set type, or let me click OK and save it once, otherwise it may get lost if the plexus stops working. So we'll go for again material sets, and you select from here this diaphragm wall is like a plate type element, so we'll select the plate, and you click here, you click new. So our diaphragm wall, and this is elastic material. And what properties we have to give here, as we have to give this EA value and EI value. So this model of elasticity into area, cross section, and this model velocity into this moment inertia value I. So we'll have to provide these two value, or you can provide d also. It will automatically calculate this one. So okay, so here we have e value, and mu value is 0.15, and thickness value we have. So we'll consider we'll have to identify the moment of inertia here, and ea value is given, so we'll multiply e and I, and so that is a little calculation you'll have to do. I'll do it on my own, and I'll put the values there. Okay, so Poisson's ratio is 0.15, and e value is the thickness is zero point 0.6 meter, you can say, and if we consider the width depth perpendicular to the screen at 1 meter, so it will give you the moment of inertia is bd cube by 12. So this let's take it as so this b is zero point 0.6, and zero point 0.6 into 1 to the power whole cube upon upon 12, so it will around 0.05 it is coming. So I'll take 0.05 as as I value. So ei will be 2.5 into 10 power 7 into 0.05, so it will be into 2.5, so 0.125 10 to the power 7. Okay, so let's go back to Plexus and type it here. So Poisson's ratio 0.15 provided, and ei value we have calculated 0.125 e7. Just put a 0 here, and ea value now I have to provide. So area will be the thickness was 0.6, and we have considered width as 1, so it will be 0.6 only. So e into 0.6, it will be 2.5 into 0.6, so 1.5 e7. Let's go here, and 1.5 e7 is basically 10 to the power, and okay, so diaphragm wall we have defined. We click on the OK, and now how to assign this diaphragm wall is you can select both the diaphragm wall by clicking on the shift, and okay, so we have selected. Now click on the diaphragm wall and click apply. So these properties are applied. You can see it in red. For the moment it will show it red, and okay, so diaphragm wall is defined. Now what is the next thing you'll have to define? So just click OK and save it once again, and the next click on the material, and next thing we have to define are struts. So struts are anchoring elements, so anchors, and you click here, click on the new, so it will ask that you'll provide that we are defining the strut, and material type is elastic, and we have to provide two values, L spacing and EA. So L spacing is the perpendicular to the plane of the screen, and it's in the perpendicular direction, and L spacing and EA value. So let's see what properties we have, and also the units. EA is in kilonewton, so yeah, spacing is in meter. So what we have here is okay, let's go back. Yeah, the properties here. So we have here strut properties. The depth is 60. The depth will consider for determining this area which is given, so we'll take all the things in meter. So 0.6 into 0.21, that will be okay. So ea value will be e is given as 2.1 e8, so I'll multiply 2.1 0.26 e8. So that calculation part you'll have to take care, and 0.26 e8, and for L spacing, so I don't think spacing is provided, but we'll take spacing as maybe 3.5 meter or something. So here I take spacing as 3 meter maybe, and I click on OK. So struts are also defined. So for assigning the struts, you will have to do again the same exercise. You'll select all the struts here, and click on the shift 2 3 4 struts, and click on the strut and apply. Okay, so we have applied all the material properties. Okay, so and this is not a strut. You'll have to you'll think that we can assign here also, but this is not so. This is not its strut. It is just boundary of excavation. So everything is pretty much defined, I think, and Now if you look at the problem, there's no external loading that is provided, but if you want, you can provide the external loading, and more practically this is the case. So go here, you can, before providing external loading, what you let's provide external loading first. So we'll take, this is the distributed load, and these are the point loads. So maybe I'll take from 10 to 15, distributed load of 20. Okay, so you, you click after you take this distributed load, and you click on the dimensions at 10 0, and then you click on this 15 0. So I've taken in this side also I'll take, so it is 30, so I'll take from 35 0 to 40 0. These two distributed loads I've taken. I'll also take point load here maybe. So I'll take a point load at 20 0, and then I'll take a point load as 30 0. So it is just for consideration. So we have taken four loads here, and what next we have to define is, we have to define these boundary conditions. So here the standard fixity is there, so we'll click on the standard fixity, and it will automatically define those fixity conditions. Here it is restrained in horizontal direction, here it is restrained in both the directions. So next, there's one thing we have not done. We'll have to, for these elements, these plate elements, we have to define the interface that will be an interface between this soil and this material of this wall. So these are the interface. You go here, and to provide the interface, you click on the nodes, and it will provide minus interface at one side and plus interface at another side, but that doesn't matter, the sign doesn't matter, they are just for indication. And for this one also, we'll click. Okay, so we have provided this interface also, and if you want to check the properties of any element, okay, so if you want to check the properties of any element, you just go to cursor and you select the element. It will ask that which element you want to check the properties. So I'll check the properties for maybe positive interface. So it will show you the thickness. So that's the thickness of the interface. It by default it is 0.1. So you don't have to make it too thick or too thin. 0.1 is fine for general purposes. And let's see the properties of strut. So metal set is strut, and you can check the properties here. Go to edit. So these are properties if you want to change. So everything is fine now, and you must be wondering that when we'll assign the load. So assignment of the load is not done in this stage. We'll do this while we define the steps of calculation. So you just save it, and just cross check that we have defined all the things. So I think we have defined all the things. So next, what you'll have to do is, you'll have to generate the mesh. So click on the mesh, and uh, this global coarseness. So what type of mesh you want to generate for finite element analysis? You will have different choices. So I'll go for maybe fine mesh. So I'll click OK, and this will create the mesh type selector is fine. So now you have to create the mesh. So here there's an option to create generate mesh, and now I'll be clicking on the generate mesh, and it will generate a fine mesh. You can see here for finite element analysis, and you'll have to click on the update every time you do this, and you click on the update. Then you click on the initial conditions. What are the initial conditions, like water level and etc. So this comma for water, it is asking 10, I'll take 9.8, you can take, and then it will ask for the water level. So what is the water level? Let's say I'll consider water level at 1 meter below the top surface. Okay, so I'll type in the coordinates. That will be 20 minus 1. Okay, and sorry, it will be 0 minus 1, and then it will be 50 minus 1. So this is the water level, and then you go on initial pore pressure calculation. This is generated, and generate water level, you click Patrick level line. Okay, so it will generate the pole pressure at different locations. You click on the update, then you go on this one and you generate the initial stresses. So it will take some time to generate, and here it have generated the initial stresses. You also click on the update this one, and then everything is done. You'll next when you'll click on calculate, it will close this input program and go to this calculate program automatically. So before you do that, you check that everything you have defined, you have not left anything. So now I'll click on calculate. Do you want to save? Yes, I want to save it. And you see, if everything is defined in your project, it will automatically transfer you to this calculation box. If there's any error, then it will ask you to rectify the error first. So in this calculation part, you'll have to define the phases of calculation, that how you want to, in what manner you want to construct and what manner you want to model your problem. So for defining a phase, you just click here, you name your phase here, like I will start from excavation level 1. Okay, so it starts from initial phase is automatically defined, you don't have to change it. So what type of mm, phase is this? This is a plastic phase or consolidation. So I'll take it as a consolidation phase maybe. It depends on the problem basically, that how you wanna do it. So yeah, it totally depends on you. So with I'll take maybe plastic stage will be fine. So I'll take it as a plastic stage analysis, and excursion 1 I've defined. So before I go and define all the properties for this stage, I'll go and I'll first create all the phases. So let's go on and click next. This is excavation level 2, and next excavation level 3, excavation level 4, and I think we have done excavation to level 5, excavation level 5. So okay, all it is done. So first let's go to excavation level 1, and when you click on this parameters, then it will ask for if you will do the consolidation analysis, then it will ask for the time up to which this level, this stage will remain. And we have not done the consolidation, so I'll go on and you click on delete intermediary steps. So in the calculation part, it will delete the intermediary steps, and in the each stage before the start of each phase, if you want to reset your displacement, then you can click on this one, and untrained behavior you can ignore from here. And next I'll go and I'll define that what this stage is. So I'll click on define, and it will open this box. And in box you can see some things are not in color, they are black and white, and some things are colored. So the things which are colored, they are active. So there are no things which are active till now, and the things which are black and or white, black and white, that are non-active. So you'll have to click on the things which you want to be active in this stage. So this is the excavation up to first level. This is the first level, I think. So you have to remove, when you click on this one, this these soils are automatically activated. So when you click on this one, it will remove this part of the soil. That means this part is not there now, it has been excavated, you can say. So what else you'll have to define? You'll have to define this loading, you'll have to activate this these diaphragm wall, and you'll also have to activate this strut, because after the excavation you'll install this strut, not these struts. So first let's go and let's activate this one. We have activated this one, and this interfacial element, it will activate by itself. You see this in the dark, and here this is not activated, means because this part is not there, there is no interface here. And then you go and you activate this one. Okay, and then go and activate the strut, and now we'll activate the load. So you see I've activated it, but I have not defined it. So you double click on it, and then you can define the loading. This is point 36, point 37, and what type of loading you want to define. If you want to define a uniform loading, then you have to give the light, I'll give -20 value. at 36 point, minus 20 value at this point. If you wanna define it as a trapezoidal loading, then you can provide 30, or maybe any load you want, any type of loading. And I'll provide this UDL loading here. So now I'll click OK, and you click on here, click here to activate it. Now you go on this one and define your loading. Maybe this one is 25, and here it is 30, and click on OK. So activate this one also. You see, this is trapezoidal type loading. And then you go on point loading, and I'll define it as let's say 15. Okay, and this one also I'll define it as 15. Okay, so all the loads are defined, these elements are activated. Okay, so when you will activate all these, and then you next you'll have to define the water level also. So you click on this for defining water level, and so you can see this is the water level. We don't want water level like this. In the first stage, the water level will be from here to here up to the excavation of stage 1. So I'll go and I'll create the water level. From here it will go up to here, then this point, and then this point. Okay, so this is the water level we want, and you can generate the pressure and update. Okay, and update it, and then you'll update this all what the activations you have made, everything you'll have to update again. And so stage 1 is updated. When you'll go to excavation level 2, then you'll have to define this stage also. So I'll go for excavation level 2 in the similar manner, and you'll see what are the things we have activated in stage 1. It will show colored here. So in this stage 2, we'll do the excavation up to second stage. So you see, up to here we have done. Now you'll have to activate this strut, and also you along with this you'll have to change the water level. So this is not the water level we want here. So I'll go here and I'll click on the water level, and okay, so if you cannot see that Plexus automatically select your node, then what you have to do is you have to provide the coordinates for that point. So let me check what were the coordinates for stage 2 excavation. Stage 2 was at 7.5 meters, so it will be 27 minus 7.5, and you come here, you click on the coordinates 20 minus 7.5. so you see here it has taken those coordinates, and then 30 minus 7.5, and then as usual this point. So water level also we have created. Just update the this water pressure, and it's updated. So you go and update this stage also. So we have done 2 stages till now. So in the similar manner we'll do for stage 3 and stage 4 and stage 5. Let's go to Plexus and let's do that quickly. Okay, here we are. So in this stage excavation level 3, I'll go to define, and then I'll go on for excavation for up to next level, and I'll activate this. I'll go in water level, then I'll define this water level up to that point. Okay, so I think it is not selected a node which I wanted to, so I'll just click. I'll again define the water level. So from this point it will be this excavation level was let me check, this was third stage excavation 9.8 meter. So I'll go and we'll go for 9.8 meters. So 20 minus 9.8, and data selected. The third point will be 9.8, and up to this point. So this is defined. Update this water pressure, and update, and now you go and update this one. So up to 3 we have done. Excavation level 4, excavate it up to next level, and activate this strut, and then let's go for the water pressure and click on this one. This excavation level was here, and update it, and and fatigue level we have updated. So okay, so last excavation level 5 define, and let's excavate up to next level, and there's no strut in between, so it's all we have to do. And then we have to go for water level, and it will go from here. This level is I think 13.5 maybe. What is the level? The excavation level 13.5 meter, and 20 minus 13.5. Okay, so everything is done I think, and update it, and let's go and update this one. So if you have updated all the stages here, and you go on and you click on this save button, and next if you have not done this till now, you'll have to give it a mark a point on your geometry. You click on this one and mark any point which on this geometry. This is important for Plexus because it takes that point as reference I think. And maybe this point you can take as point E. You can take multiple points also, but I'll take just one and update it, and then you're all set for your calculation. Okay, so uh, I'll like to calculate I'll like to do the calculation for all the stages. Okay, now you can go ahead and just click on calculate. It will calculate the everything for this stage, and you'll wait depending on the type of GPU you are using or your system requirement. So I'll just skip this part of the calculation. It may take maybe 2 to 3 minutes in some computers. For each stage it will calculate. You can see that we have, this is the fourth stage I think, and after this the final stage will start, and it will give you the results. Okay, so let's see the output. You click on the output for fourth stage, and you can see this deformation here, that how the diaphragm wall have been deformed, and how the soil have been deformed here in these points. See that how the soil have been deformed here, and what you'll see here, that you can check the deformation. So what deformation mass as you are seeing right now, and total deformation you can see as arrows, and then you can see the horizontal displacement only, and vertical displacement only, and so on. Different things you can see, and total strain also you can see. You can also see it as a volumetric shading, like where is a color plot of strain, and you can see effective stresses and total stresses, and you can see as a shading also. You can see as contours also. So so in this way you'll see that Plexus provide different type of options how you can look at the results. If you want to see, like you want to see result in this cross section, just take this cross section and see here. Then all the properties you can see, total stress and everything. You can generate a table for the numerical values, and transport it into any software, and use it as per your requirement. Then what else is there is we have provided this diaphragm wall. So if you double click on this one, then it will show all the properties for diaphragm wall. This is bending moment, and then axial forces also, and shear forces. And you can see that for diaphragm wall, as I've shown you, from this diaphragm also you can check by double clicking on it. And then if you want to see that forces on a strut, then you double click on it. It will show that what are the forces on these struts, and every strut you can do the same for every strut. And at each level you can check that how much force it is subjected to at the end of our analysis. So in this way you can see, if you want to see like here what are the displacements. So you see this is the effective stress, and if you want to see total displacement, these are the total displacement at bottom of the excavation. So that's good, I think. How you can see your result based on your requirement, this different type of visual and numerical visualizations. And then one more thing is there, is you can go on these curves and see, you go and you create a new chart, and then you select your project for which you want to plot the curves. Then I'll plot a curve which will have x-axis on as a steps, and y-axis as displacement. Now click on apply. You see it will show that as your step of calculation increases, how your displacement is increasing. So you can consider that after first excursion, second, third, and so on. And also you can see how the multiplier is decreasing over the time, over the calculation, or over the time. So in this way you can see these curves based on your type of calculation. I've done the plastic analysis. If you'll do consolidation, then you consolidation analysis, then you'll also see the curve for pore water pressure and everything, and so on. You can save this curve as a picture, and you can use it directly. So okay, so that's I think pretty much it I had for today. And well, in this way you can extract all your like here also, if you click on this table, it will show you that what are the different displacement stress at a different level. So it will provide all the numerical values which you wanted to use, and then you can extract your result, your desired result. So that's pretty much it I had for today, and I think you learned something from it. Okay, so thank you guys.